Hello, hello.
Hello, Nath. You all right?
Yes, beautiful sunny wet Mothergizzy. Just about. It's hanging in
this
there.
morning, woke up, wind was howling.
It was
rain was down.
a bit questionable.
Yes,
We've been trying for several weeks to try and get this one in,
Months,
but weather, other commitments, all sorts of things have kind of put us off. But here we are today anyway, glorious Mothergizzy, just down the road from where we are in St Austell and Truro. We've been to Charlestown to talk about some of the film history, and we've been to the Eden Project. Mother was on your to-do list.
Yes, yeah.
How come? So I grew up in Mothergizzy, so I've lived here throughout my childhood, and I don't know very much that's happened here. So tell us a bit more.
Okay, yes, we'll get into some of the history. There's some more modern ones, some older ones. We'll start off, I'd say the golden era was in the 40s, and they had a couple of war-related films. So there's Next of Kin, which is 40-41, and it's more of a propaganda-based piece, really, that it was a proper feature film. However, it showed the problems if people were very loose lips sink ships, you see.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That was the term at the time. So there was a bit of a spy issue, and someone sort of gave something away and affected the naval base. And then the second one, which is the bigger one, was Johnny Frenchman. So quite a big film. We actually had it back in the cinema.
Is this from your own archives?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Look
70th
at that.
anniversary celebrations in the film centre. So we had Johnny Frenchman back in for that one. We had
Amazing.
the 70th anniversary back in the film centre. So there's quite a few details in there. So it's a really nice programme, that one.
And is that what they call the golden era of cinema? That's really where it's kind of coming in, because this was around the war time, isn't it?
Yeah, different golden era. So I'm just using the term loosely for Mothergizzy's golden era. We had Treasure Island as well in 49. So there were 3 films in the 1940s, basically. And Treasure Island was only very loosely here, but the other 2 were predominantly, certainly Johnny Frenchman. The house in the corner there sort of features quite a lot in a lot of footage and stuff. We'll get a picture of that for the guys in a minute to have a look at, Johnny Frenchman's house. So it's 1945, and it's a comedy drama from the Eden Studios, and another golden era of British comedy. So they've done Lavender Hill Mob, Lady Killers, and that Kind Hearts and Coronets, so real big British classics. So the Johnny Frenchman one, you had the Mothergizzy fishermen, and then the Breton French fishermen are there, and they've had this decades, I think centuries long rivalry between each other for various reasons. But it was never particularly antagonistic, but it was just lots of niggles and didn't like each other. And the comedy goes from there, and then the Bretons come over to Mothergizzy, and something happens during the war, and then they sort of end up working together. But the interesting part of it is that this side of the harbour was France.
Oh,
that side of the harbour.
Okay. What a great way to set up a film.
Yes, yeah. So one side was used as France, and the other side was used as Britain, Mothergizzy. So yeah.
Oh, I wonder what that was like for the residents of kind of Mothergizzy and Cornwall to see that on the screen, probably for the first time, or their own hometown, and represented in such a very different way.
Yes, yeah, and on the big screen as well, because you didn't have TV. So it was just going to the cinema to see stuff, and it would have been a novelty. I was trying to figure out if there was a cinema in Mothergizzy, because lots of little towns, villages had cinemas at the time. But I did ask my dad, who was born in Mothergizzy as well, and he doesn't remember one being here. I think he said they'd done a bit of filming in some of the, they had like a big old projector they put onto a big wall.
Oh, okay.
Hall type thing. I don't know how they managed to do that, but it wasn't actually a set cinema.
Might get away with that
lots
now.
of places had cinemas, like St Dennis had one, and apparently Foy had 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a time when there were cinemas, lots of places. So yeah, but it would have been a treat for them to watch it. But like I say, the filming would have been interesting. But as I was speaking to you off air, that it'll be interesting for the people during the war when they're doing these films, as we know the outcome. When they're making these films, they don't know what's going to happen in the future. So it's been difficult to make the films,
and also trying
to
continue that production during wartime as well must have been quite a challenge.
Yes, yeah. There was that film with I think Joe Marston and Bill Nighy, The Finest, and that was about doing a big propaganda type film. That was a few years ago, so yeah, that was quite a nice piece. But yeah, it'd be very interesting to look more into that.
So we've started off really early, considering the kind of heritage of film, 1940s, 1950s.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to somewhere a little bit different in Mother now to talk about maybe some more recent ones that you might remember. So, shall we?
Yeah, let's go on.
Okay, so we've come over to the other side of the harbour now.
I don't know why you brought me on the beach, Nathan.
Yeah, no, literally, we just got on the beach.
Walking back to the beach.
Joe's found some nice shells he's going to take home, so we're okay. more modern films, and I know we've spoken previously about Bad Education with Jack Whitehall, but I mean, this
Yes,
really was based in Mevagissey, wasn't it? A lot of it.
Yeah, predominantly, and Portmelon as well, so the region. The school scenes as well were local up at Penrice School, because normally they use their one up in London or local one, but because they're filming down here on location, they use Penrice. So I was at Penrice, so you're sort of interested to see, there's the old hall there.
Yeah.
That they use.
Any teachers?
Teachers there. But yeah, predominantly always around Mevagissey area, and they've done the same trick as they did for Johnny Frenchman, as we mentioned, that they doubled up the harbour as France. So, and then
did
the lighthouse,
they?
they stuck a tricolor flag at the end there. Someone gets put in the box and sent off to France. They get found there. So yeah, so to save going all the way over there, we'll just use that side of the harbour as France. So it's quite a good trick.
A genius tool for filmmakers.
How often do they do this? They do it quite a lot in films to save some money. Sort of, we'll just use the other side of the town as somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like they've got
That's a good idea.
Lord of the Rings, Power of the Ring at the moment on Amazon. I mean, they've got Middle Earth and all these areas. I mean, they just use in one little area in New Zealand. We think it's like vast areas, but it might just be different angles.
Yeah. And then what?
Camera
they
trickery.
pocket the extra money.
Yes, yeah.
It's an insane budget on those type of productions, isn't it? I'm sure that new Lord of the Rings one is a good few million per episode, isn't it?
You see, they've spent a lot on those. They are very film quality. That's always been one of my issues with some of the TV stuff, that is not quite to the same level. But that one does.
You can tell,
that one is a lot better. So. Anyway, back to Bad Education.
Yes.
So got sidetracked there. So that doubled up as France in one scene. Portmelon pub as well was focused quite a lot there.
Rising Sun,
Yes, and I think was it the Wheelhouse pub here as well? Was that sort of
just across from here?
For the place that they were staying on holiday. So
okay.
I'm not sure where they did actually stay when they came down to Peter. If they were lumped in there.
I want to say it was the Cornwall Hotel, which is not too far away from here. It's on the way.
I know some of them came in to use the cinema when they were staying here. They did visit, so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jack Whitehall was very nice. I didn't meet him, but he was very nice. But...
And I feel like he's done quite well, isn't he? He's got quite big in America now, isn't he? And more recently in the Clifford, the Big Red Dog movie.
Clifford. It was Jungle Cruise last year, he's making himself a bit of a name over there. It's interesting to see how it goes, because I think it will always probably be comedic sort of roles, like relief ones, but he can do well out of that, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And with his dad as well, doing Travels to My Family.
Yeah,
does very well.
which is very funny. Very funny.
Excellent stuff.
And you mentioned Port Melon. Just this, literally, for people who don't know Mevagissey, literally just the other side of the coast or the cove. We've had a few. Over the years, there's been rumours, isn't there, of celebrities that have owned property over there. Specifically, there's a house right on the end, isn't it, called Chapel Point?
Yeah, it's a collection of places.
So who've you got? I've heard Robbie Williams. That's been one.
Madonna was one.
Madonna, that's a good one.
I'm not sure who the recent ones have been over there. Probably Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise? We could just make them up.
Yeah, if we went past it, so he must know this. Yes.
Speaking of Tom Cruise, he's getting the vibe again today. Like we're walking around, people are like, you can tell this is the talent here. Kind of very good. But Portmelon, it's had its own film history, isn't it? With About Time.
Yeah, that featured. So there's a scene. I think they come down for the funeral, aren't they? And sort of driving down around, and that sort of music plays over the town there. And I think they use it for probably the wedding as well. So there's a few backdrop scenes they use there. So again, it's quite clever, tricky, because Portobello House is also used as the main house. But where it's focused is on Volt Beach, which is quite a big difference. I mean, Volt's over there, Portobello's back there.
Yeah, for people who know.
Probably 10 miles in between, I'd say. But it's sort of superimposed, because the house is on the beach, scamper down to play. But we know it's not. But it's very clever how they merge it in.
Yeah.
You think, where is that? Where is that?
Because if you're local, you're going, hang on a minute, this isn't quite, where is this?
Yeah.
And that was it Richard Curtis? That was Richard Curtis' film, wasn't it? So Love Actually.
rom-com. We had the premiere
Notting
up in...
Hill?
Yes, we did do Notting Hill. And Four Weddings.
Four Weddings, of course, So
main one.
They're always quite popular, aren't they, these films?
But About Time was really good. Rachel McAdams, Bill Nighy, and Domhnall Gleeson starred in that one. He's done well, actually, Domhnall Gleeson. Started off there and sort of propelling himself up as well. But we had the premiere in, what was that? Was really
That's
good.
right.
Yeah, a few years ago now. Yeah.
Big
lovely
fun.
time. Yes, nice to have another one. I know Fisherman's Friends had their premiere over Newquay recently, and that
Yes.
was a good evening. They all enjoyed that. And went for an after show party, and a couple of our female employees went over there as well. And made themselves well acquainted with this pure void. But yes, they all enjoyed themselves. Yeah, very good evening apparently.
And that must be quite nice to have, big premieres here in Cornwall because, historically it's all Leicester Square and
Yeah, they don't really like to travel unless there is situations to do so. But Fisherman's Friends was a really good one. They had the cast and like the original Fisherman's Friends. And there's lots and lots of people there, so it was a really good show. I think they should maybe do a few more. I mean, obviously we need to have some connection for them to do that, but it would be nice to have more premieres.
And it seems like
we always appreciate them more, I think, because I mean up there it can sort of be a bit, oh yeah, there's another one.
Yeah,
whereas for us
that's
it's always a massive event, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
100%.
for the whole county really. So.
And it feels like since COVID that they have been really looking at filming more films let's say locally, but like within the UK, aren't we? We saw during COVID and post-COVID a lot of productions happening on our shores, which is...
Well, I think Fisherman's Friends is one of the few that actually did go through because it was filmed during the COVID as well. So yeah, I think there might have been a few changes to the script, how they did it, but it was one of the few that was actually pushed through production-wise in that time. I think we're starting to notice a little bit now because we had a bit of a backlog of films and we had quite a big drop before the summer. Elvis, Top Gun, Jurassic World, there's one after another. Thor, Minions, so every week, bang, 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 bang. And you probably could have spaced it out a little bit more, I'm thinking. We got in August, so it was a bit of a shame they didn't spread them out a little bit more. But they were sort of like, quite a few of those were held back from before. I know Minions was definitely a year before, Top Gun was quite a lot of time before, and Jurassic World, so you see why they were held off. But we're going to sort of maybe get to a stage that it's going to be a bit of a lull maybe because there was nothing much filmed during that period.
No.
So, yeah.
We'll find out.
Yes, yeah.
We're going to go wander to a different spot and we're going to have a little chat about some of the upcoming films that are coming, I guess the kind of last quarter of 2022.
Yeah, we are in autumn, aren't we? So, yes,
yeah.
We can get off the beach.
Ow! It's just started to rain here in Mevagissey. Great Cornish weather.
On one side, rain.
We're going to persist on. We've just stopped outside the rather iconic aquarium, which I seem to think have changed colour recently. I'm sure it used to be like a white, maybe a cream. Now it's blue. But maybe goes to show last time I came to Meva and was observant.
It's been blue for a while. Judging by the... yeah, could do another lick of paint.
Yeah. Bit of a power wash. One of the things that we wanted to talk about was some of the upcoming films that are happening as we come to the end of the year. We've already said about how over the kind of course of doing these productions that cinema's back in swing. But what have we got to look forward to before the big C Christmas is coming?
Christmas, yeah. We've got Halloween before that, haven't we? So,
yes.
The big heat in Christmas.
I do love Halloween, actually. Like you know me, I love a scary film.
Yeah.
Scary film.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
So fair enough. Trash is what Will says. But it's got a market, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, I think
when I see one coming up and it looks terrible and it's scary, I'm messaging, hey, one for you.
This is one for you. I grew up in the era of Final Destination and which is coming back, isn't it? There's a sixth one in production now.
Probably, yeah. They just can't seem to let things fly with horror films.
No.
There's always multiple sequels.
Always someone's got to die.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, what's coming up?
So, well, we'll lead on to that then. I was going to start with something else, but seeing we're on multiple sequels and dodgy horror films, Halloween ends. And it's supposed to end as well this time.
Oh, like finish.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jamie Lee Curtis is back for the last time with Michael Myers, and as the title says, Halloween ends, but maybe see it to believe it, to be honest. So,
right.
Yeah. But it is following it, because they did have a bit of a gap for a few years, and then they did come back a couple of years ago, and this seems to be the third in the current run. Because Halloween is one, I think it was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that sort of left them a bit of a cliffhanger. So yeah, this is supposed to round everything off. So that's out mid-October, ready for Halloween, obviously.
Series fatigue with that. I think it was we went through a nostalgic period, things were coming back.
Yeah.
But maybe they've over-egged it a bit now. There's a bit too many Halloweens.
Probably, yes.
So it's the same thing every time, isn't it? Like...
Yeah, primarily, yeah. You know what you're going to get when you watch one of those. So, but they are popular. And obviously Jamie Lee Curtis is a very good actress, so it does have a decent cast with it, so I think that's a good selling point. Yeah, that's Halloween done, but with a decent cast, it sort of does draw a bit of a group in. So what I was going to start with is Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, so completely the opposite end of the scale. That one's out a couple of weeks, so beginning of October. And Leslie Manville stars as Mrs. Harris, who's So a cleaning lady, and then gets a bit of a windfall, and the person she cleans for, she sees this Dior dress and she falls in love with it, and her aim is to save her money up to go to France to get a dress made for her. So it's a tale of that. I think it's a remake. It's definitely a book back in the 50s, and Angela Lansbury done. And Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris back in the 80s, so you might remember that one.
Love Angela Lansbury.
Yes,
My Saturday routine is Murder, She Wrote back to back on 5-star. That's the true story. I've seen the trailer for this one. It looks real, kind of feel good.
Yeah.
Just something a bit different, a bit refreshing.
Very easygoing. I mean, going to Paris, you've got the nice location and the era and the dresses, the costume. Just looks really nice and like sort of thing we need, sort of this time of year, and certainly with everything going on at the moment, it's nice to have those escapist, easygoing films. So I think that's what people want at the moment, is just to sort of go and get away.
Switch off, isn't it? Yeah. Forget the troubles of the world.
All the trouble. I'm going back a few years, but I think 2008 was quite a difficult time. It was a bit of a wet summer and money was tight again and everything. And Mamma Mia came out, and that was just packed every night for like weeks and weeks, because people just went, right, go there, because you've got the sunshine, you've got the music,
yes,
you've got the laughter and fun. So for a couple of hours you can get away and just enjoy yourselves for a bit. So that's what it aims to do. So Mrs. Harris, we had a family film, definitely, and there's another family film which you didn't know about until a few moments ago when I informed you of Lyle the Crocodile. So,
which I thought you were joking to me, but Lyle the Crocodile. Okay,
yes,
tell us about this one, because this has come out of nowhere.
I know, we've been training it for a while, so if you don't go to horror films, you might have seen the trailer.
Point taken.
So it's CGI based, but it's a bit like Paddington and Peter Rabbit. The crocodile's in with like live action stuff, and Lyle's pretty. He's a crocodile, but he's got human talents. Walk and talk and like do this performing stuff and all. So, but it looks really good fun. Lovely.
It sounds bonkers. It's ridiculous.
It's difficult to explain it. Yeah, watch the trailer.
But I think you're right. Those type of films do really well because it's something a bit different, and that kind of whole live action, that blending, seems to be more and more popular. And they've got better and better at making them as well, because there's some really dodgy ones in the early noughties, wasn't there?
Yeah, and they probably don't look so good now either. I mean, at the time they might not be brilliant, but if you look back, they don't date so well. But technology now is excellent.
Yeah.
So certainly like Paddington, I think, is the standout one, because it's like seamless how he's just involved in everything. And yeah, wonderful.
And family film, that one's sticking around for kind of half term, which is inevitably coming up.
Yes, end of October into November. So.
And I guess something a little bit different. Of course, WTW cinemas do the live events, lots of theatre, lots of live kind of stage shows and things. But something I'm really excited for is Coldplay.
Yes, yeah.
How have you managed to book Coldplay, Will?
Yes, Well, they're actually in Buenos Aires.
Oh, right,
so it's a live broadcast.
Oh, lovely.
So trying to figure out the timing how it's going to work, but it's a live broadcast from Buenos Aires, the River Plate Stadium over there. So that's an iconic football stadium as well. So it's going to be good. So 29th of October, there's an afternoon showing and an evening showing.
Oh, so 2 showings, great.
Yes, It's like Coldplay, Music of Spears.
Yeah.
The current tour that they're doing. So obviously it was a sellout pretty much wherever they've been. So this is a worldwide broadcast for everyone to sort of share and enjoy it all on the same day. But it will be good. I mean, the event theatre stuff is always really good. And if you get the musical ones, if you can't make it, it is the next best thing. Because you've got like-minded people all in, a big group of you all enjoying it. And I don't know if we're going to send wristbands out for us to have out.
Flashing along. I know, like, I was really lucky enough to go and see them in Glasgow this year, the same kind of tour. And I was a bit worried, it's going to be all the new music and it's all a bit weird, but it was essentially a greatest hits collaboration. There was all sorts of stuff from right back in the days of kind of Scientists and Yellow, right up to kind of higher power from today. They put on a show, Coldplay.
They do, They're renowned for putting on the show. I think they're probably one of the best live.
I love that you can be able to watch this in your hometown. You're not going to have to travel to Buenos Aires and pay a fortune for tickets. So sign me up for that one. I'll definitely be in for that one because they were awesome.
Yeah, I think it'll be popular. So book in quick for that.
So that is pretty much it from us here in Mevagissey. Hopefully you've learned something along the way. I know I have today. Where do you think we should be going next, Will? Because there's a few places in Cornwall we've not captured that still got a bit of history. Probably a bit more rural than here, I'd say. Yeah,
we've done most of the closest proximity to St Austell, so I think we're going to have to venture a bit further out. Open to suggestions if people have any ideas, or they've got cream tea they want to offer and tell us to come.
We'll have for a free meal this one. We'll have for a cake.
Somewhere maybe less busy as well. Less
Yeah,
noisy.
yeah, it's nice to see Memphis busy.
Yeah, yeah.
You can, of course, get us on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram at Chaos TV UK if you've got some suggestions. We're thinking kind of maybe up in the moors.
Maybe North Coast.
North
but
Coast,
dig
there's
out the
lots happening
passport.
up there as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, dig out your passport. All right. That is it from us. Well, thank you as always.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been great.
Should we go and see if we can get some fish and chips somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe's
So,
buying.
yeah. Well, not in the aquarium.
Poor fishes.
Fresh fish.
See you later.